Hudson County View Live at Uncut, and I'm your host, not always a saint, but rarely a sinner, and a guy with a mindset of a certified winner, John Arhitis, of course, talking the latest and greatest in Hudson County news. Good to be back. Been a couple weeks off with the League of Municipalities on the Thanksgiving holiday. Hope you guys had a good one. So, first of all, let's talk about what's going on in the Mile Square City. There was a ransomware attack, and that happened right before the holiday. That was last Wednesday, exactly 1 week ago. And we're still trying to figure out exactly what happened. You know, city officials are saying that this is a federal law enforcement issue, so they can't talk about it. And other than that, there's not a heck of a whole lot I got to tell you, but we will give you a summation of what's happened and what has been released to date. Beyond that, to see what's going on at their city council meeting tonight, they do have a potential item on the agenda to vote on a replacement of the 6th ward. Of course, the late and beloved Jen Giattino passed unexpectedly last month, and they only have until tomorrow, so this is their really last opportunity to do that. My sources are telling me there's not going to be a vote, but it's Hoboken, things could change on a moment's notice, so we'll enlighten a bit about that. We're also going to talk a little bit about what's going on with Jersey City Public Safety. We have Ward C Councilman Rich Baggiano coming out saying he wants the CompStat and UCR statistics for the Jersey City Police Department for 2024 released. So he wrote a long letter about that. We'll touch on a little of those subjects, as well as a press conference in Jersey City tomorrow. Also, a new lawsuit out of Bayonne. A woman is alleging that worked for the rec department. She's alleging that she actually sustained 2 strokes in 2022 and was not able to return to work. So some bold allegations there. Going to talk about that, and we're also going to sit down with Assemblywoman Jessica Ramirez and a whole lot more right after this word from our sponsors.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Hudson County View Live at Uncut, John Arhitis. So again, let's go back to the Mile Square City, 94 Washington Street, City Hall, ransomware attack. So as of December 1st, which was of course Sunday, we heard that email and Wi-Fi are still being restored, while many city services have already been brought back to normal. So that Nixle alert that went out said the majority of services for residents remain available online, including purchasing temporary no parking signs, parking permits, and other services provided by third-party vendors. The Hoboken Parking Utility service window will be open regular hours starting on Monday, December 2nd, and will be accepting cash or check payments. All parking regulations and enforcement, including street sweeping, are in effect as of Monday. And until further notice, that was the last update. They're recommending that residents call City Hall, 201-420-2000. Again, that's 201-420-2000. And if you go on the city website, all the extensions are there for the main departments. And if you want to sit on the line for a little bit, they will automatically prompt you. So not much else to say, again, other than the fact that city officials have declined to comment further because this is an ongoing law enforcement investigation. It sounds like the FBI is involved. No one's used those 3 letters, but they're saying federal law enforcement's investigating, and that's usually what that means. So we haven't got any comment from the FBI, and no one's got on the record on this. So we're kind of just left wondering what exactly the ransom was, but when we get more details, we will certainly let you know. So sticking with the Mile Square City, something that I had last night, Marie View Plaza. You guys remember a year ago to the day, we had a report about a potential 9.5% rent increase at this downtown Hoboken building. And fortunately, it ended up going back down to 3.5 in 2023. But now we have another near 10% rent hike being proposed in the holiday season, to the chagrin of many. So There was a letter from Marine View Management over to the tenants, and it came just after Thanksgiving, November 30th to be exact. And it said, as you know from previous correspondence this year, we were working diligently with Hoboken City officials with the goal of establishing a multi-pronged approach to address the future direction of Marine View apartments. Last January, we agreed to suspend the 6% of the 2024 9.5% rent increase until we could either work out a mutually agreeable plan with Hoboken City officials or not. A copy of the January rent increase is attached. Currently, we are at an impasse. So they're making it clear, we tried to work with the administration. They didn't want to hear it. And, this is what we're going to have to do as a result. At least that's their point of view, right? Now, they talked also about what they were hoping was they wanted to allow tenants that sought to purchase their units at below market rate to limit rent increases for low-income tenants and limit rent hikes for tenants whose rent exceeded 30% of their income. So, not really sure if there was a high demand for that, but that's what's noted in the letter. And, I heard from both First Ward Councilman Paul Presenzano and Mayor Ravi Bala. When I spoke to Presenzano, he said, I think it's pretty clear that the city has said we believe Marine View Plaza is under rent control, and all of the city council is united together to make sure we reach a very quick and fair solution during the holiday season. It's unfortunate that this is an annual occurrence for some of our residents that have contributed to the overall character of Hoboken. So, pretty measured, pretty standard procedure, and, sounds hopeful that they could get this number down. Remember, as he just mentioned, that the city has determined as of last year that they are subject to rent control. Of course, Marine View is not accepting that. They're still operating as if they are not. So this could end up in court. Not really sure how this is going to get remedied. But when I spoke to the mayor, his statement was a lot more scorched earth. He said, for the last 2 years in partnership with the city council, we have been imploring ownership of Marine View Plaza to stop trying to take advantage of their residents. Their actions demonstrate that their only concern is padding their own pockets at the expense of residents while blatantly ignoring the city's rent control laws. Despite numerous warnings, notices, and violation, this ownership group has shown no intention of addressing rodent infestations, replacing garbage containers, or making basic repairs. MVP ownership has proven time and time again they are not dealing in good faith, most recently placing this notice on residents' doors at 1 a.m. on Thanksgiving Day. Enough is enough. My administration and the city council will aggressively stand up for MVP residents and hold the property owners accountable. And if you guys looked at the agenda for the Hoboken City Council tonight, not directly related, but probably at least vaguely, you see Councilwoman at Large Emily Jabbour and Councilman at Large Joe Quintero have a measure up for first reading that would define any rental increase over 10% a year would be quote-unquote unconscionable. So let's see what the discussion looks like there. Obviously, last month they had that rent control referendum in Hoboken, and it was defeated overwhelmingly, nearly 3-1. So let's, before we go to a break, let's talk just quickly about Ward C Councilman in Jersey City, Rich Paggiano. He's talking about crime stats. Now, every year for the past several years, I'd say at least 6 or 7, if not more, the Jersey City administration under Mayor Stephen Fulop, they do a press conference talking about the crime stats for the year. If you look at the Jersey City Police website, probably not too many of your main destinations on your computer or phone, but if you look there, it does tell you how many homicides, how many shooting suspects, how many shooting incidents, and if you look at what we have for 24, there's only been 6 homicides, and shooting incidents and shooting victims is way down compared to 2022 and 2023. Now, in light of that, that's going to be tomorrow at 11, we heard from the councilman, who is a retired police detective, and he's urging, again, as I said at the top of the program, the weekly CompStat numbers and monthly Uniform Crime Report program statistics for 2024 to be released. He notes that the International Association of Chiefs of Police has advocated for CompStat. He also notes the Bureau of Justice Assistance has done the same. The NYPD and New York State law enforcement agencies also submit to CompStat, and these numbers also are often uploaded to the FBI database, so they're easy to access. So basically, he concludes with following the NJPD and NY State's models will enhance community-centric policing, increase police officers' visibility on the street, improve relationships between the community and police, and inform the concerned communities regarding crime in their neighborhoods. So we're going to take a quick break, folks. When I come back, I'll be sitting down with Assemblywoman Jessica Ramirez.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Comprehensive health.
And
Uncut, chat our hiatus, and as I mentioned a few moments ago, today I'm joined with Assemblywoman Jessica Ramirez of the 32nd Legislative District. Jessica, thank you for coming in.
so nice to see you.
Yes, same here. So, obviously the campaign trail has started early this year. That seems to be the trend across the state. But regardless, you're seeking a second term. Obviously, a lot of people had the impression you kind of came out of nowhere the last time around. And, you've made your mark in Hoboken, downtown Heights, and Journal Square. So tell me why you wanted to do this to begin with and why you want to do it again.
Sure. So I've been an attorney for over 20 years, and throughout my legal career, I've only represented sexual assault victims, workers that have been injured. I've also had a contract with the Public Defender's Office. I worked for Catholic Charities, and I was the managing attorney for immigration. So I've had a really long career, I guess, representing the voiceless, the people that needed a voice. So it kind of went, I thought it was a nice transition for sure. And for the last few years, doing the civil work and representing victims of sex assault, I saw really the injustice. Definitely, especially when the criminal system failed them. And that's when I started really getting involved in wanting to run for office. Also, my law office also represented different cities against the opioid manufacturers. And once you started getting involved in the opioid litigation, you really saw the injustice and what goes on in the background. And as we would sit down, my partners and I, and we would talk about what's going on, they would say, Jess, you should really run for office. It's time for you to put up or shut up. Was really something that they would say a lot. And once I moved to Jersey City, and it was I had to open up the office. I started doing many seminars throughout the city, know your rights, domestic violence, immigration, and that's kind of how I started getting my name out there. And I guess being noticed by different individuals that asked me to run. And really, that's how it happened. And there's a famous study that says that you have to ask a woman about 7 times to run for office before they say yes. And I can attest that that is the truth.
It sounds like it was more than 7.
It happened. I was asked plenty of times, but I was scared. And also I'm a single mom, an attorney, am a partner in my law office, and I really was concentrating on raising this son of mine and trying to become this great attorney. So it was not something that I wanted to do, but as time went on and seeing the injustice of the world, I said it was my time.
Got it. All right. So with all that said, a lot of things to unpack there, but let's just start here. So when we talk about the legislative side, it's some bills you put up and some things you've seen on the legal aspect of life, is there any correlation there or anything you're particularly excited or proud of that's in the works?
Sure. Before coming into the assembly, we all have, I think, a lot of I'll speak for myself. I had all these ideas that I was really going to concentrate on workers' rights and sex assault victims. And then once you become an assembly person, you get put in these committees. Well, you get to also pick your committees for sure. I picked the Veterans Committee because as a proud Puerto Rican, many Puerto Ricans are in the military. My brother's in the military. He's now a veteran. He was in the Navy for over 25 years, uncles, cousins. And I started getting very interested also in veterans' rights, something that I'd never really practiced. And one of the bills that we're trying to push has to do with transportation for veterans and how difficult it is for disabled veterans to get to their medical appointments, and how they, we have blind veterans getting dropped off and left at the bus stop, and then they have to make their way to their doctor's office. So that's something that I never really did before, but got interested in once I became a legislator.
Would the state cover those costs? Is that the idea of the bill?
Yes, that is the idea of the bill. And then also another proud bill is a human trafficking bill. And this bill came out of the Cintoa Brown case, which was an adolescent really, who was human trafficked, and she killed her John, and she was not able to use the fact that she was a human trafficking victim as an affirmative defense. So that's another bill that's out there, that if you are a victim of human trafficking, you can use that as an affirmative defense to lower your sentence, or to seek a lower sentence.
And in the case you're referencing, so she ended up serving a bigger sentence because that was off the table.
Exactly. Really famous case, many documentaries on the case. Another bill that I'm really proud of that's went through committee, and let's see what happens with the bill, is, again, this bill came about during my practice as an attorney. We represent workers' rights and injured workers, and we kept coming across many firemen that were sick due to 9/11, and they kept talking about this RICHI bill, and that they missed the RICHI bill, that they didn't apply in time, and now they're sick, now they have cancer, now they're dying. And again, this was before I became an assemblywoman. Like, what is this RICHI bill? And I found out that once it was enacted, you had 2 years to apply. You had to apply for disability benefits in case you got sick later on due to 9/11.
And this extends it, right?
So the bill that I am working on extends the disability. And you're able to apply 2 more years. So let's see. Keeping my fingers crossed to see if that does pass and it goes into a second committee.
Be hard to envision anyone voting against that, but you never know. It's Jersey. So with that, don't go anywhere, Assemblywoman. Folks, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its 2 newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Panepinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panepintodevelopment.com. Panepinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Hudson County View live at Uncut. Chowder Hiatus, and I'm still here with Assemblywoman Jessica Ramirez. So, yeah, look, I think we got a good idea of where your head's at on the governmental side. Now, politically, you're running with Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop. Of course, he's my mayor too, but regardless of that, the point is, obviously he's carved out this niche where he's the anti-machine candidate. He's went hard against Leroy Jones, Kevin McCabe, Josh Gottheimer, Mikey Sherrill. What do you think that means to you when we get to the primary and you guys are sharing the same team, so to speak, same slate?
Is that what you heard? I am a fan of Mayor Fulop. I am loyal to Mayor Fulop. He obviously believed in me and wanted me to run with him. And I think he's been amazing for Jersey City. So I can't imagine, I know he's going to be an amazing governor. So I'm excited to run with him, and let's see what the future holds.
All right. Simple enough. Now, speaking of the future, a lot of people think you're going to be running alongside Hoboken Mayor Ravi Bala. Any updates on that?
No, I have no updates on that either.
Okay.
I don't.
You don't know if you don't ask. Well, look, the one person that has declared is Katie Brennan. Of course, she's a housing advocate out of Jersey City. She's worked for the state of New Jersey, for New York. Unfortunately, probably think she's most famous for is that rape case with Al Alvarez. That is, of course, long since been resolved. So, when you look at your accolades, and again, she's the only declared opponent besides or candidate, I should say, besides yourself. How do you think you guys match up?
No, I'm excited for her run. I think she's a viable candidate. I think she's done a lot. I admire what she's done, and as a sex assault advocate myself, and a woman that brings these cases to justice. I only have praise for a woman that was able to use her voice, and it's scary to be out there and to go against the system and do a lawsuit. So I think it's an exciting time for everybody.
All right, well said. Now, I noticed that shortly after Election Day, the general election, you were one of several electeds that decided to go to Grundy Park, and they were expressing their concerns about deportation in the new administration. So why did you think that was an important issue to be a part of and lend your voice to?
As a Latina woman myself, I am Puerto Rican, so I'm a citizen by birth. It's still I came here when I was 8 years old, and we had to learn English, and we had to go through a lot of I don't want to compare myself to people that come here that are undocumented and what they have to go through, but I can empathize for sure, and I know how scary that is, and how scary it is to be in a system where you don't understand the language, you don't have any family. So I'm always very empathetic, and I worked at Catholic Charities, and I did immigration for many years, so that's something for sure dear to me. So I thought it was definitely important for my people, I call them my cousins, my Latino people, to know that I'm there with them and that I sympathize and empathize, and I know their struggles. So it was really important for me to be there for sure.
Okay, understand that. Now, Governor Phil Murphy, as you know, years ago, he made New Jersey a sanctuary state, which, for those not familiar, basically that means when federal law enforcement, specifically Border Patrol or ICE, try to come in, the local law enforcement won't cooperate. So with that, there's a bill that's going to be introduced by State Senator Doug Steinhardt that would basically rescind that and say, let the federal government do what they want to do. You would think that doesn't have the votes, but regardless, where do you stand on the sanctuary state and sanctuary city type of issues?
A lot of people think that a sanctuary, when you become a sanctuary state, anything goes. You can commit any crime, and that's just not the case. The sanctuary, if you commit a felony, now a misdemeanor, if it's a DUI, a shoplifting, that's something minor, then they won't call the feds. But absolutely, as I did criminal for many years, if you were charged with a rape case, with anything that's felony, that does not count. It doesn't matter if you live in a sanctuary state. Nobody wants criminals. So I think that that's really important to know. I think that the hype about sanctuary cities, people think any crime goes and we're just going to shield any criminal, and that's just not how it goes. I haven't read the bill yet. I'd like to for sure read it so I can give you a better opinion on it, but I can tell you that what a sanctuary is and really how it works criminally.
No, that's more than fair. So, we're running short on time, so any closing thoughts there? Anything you want to highlight before you go?
No, I'm excited to be running again. I think that I've done a lot my freshman year, these last 11 months, and I want to continue my good work for the people of Jersey City, and I'm having a great time meeting amazing folks like yourself and just fighting a good fight, what I've been doing for the last 20 years in my legal career.
Okay. Oh, real quick before you go, as a Jersey City resident, any feelings on the mayoral at this point?
No, for sure. Everybody's working really hard, and it's difficult because I think they're all great candidates. But I have my favorite for sure, and I'll keep that to myself for now.
Oh, all right, cliffhanger. Assemblywoman, thanks for coming in.
It's so nice to see you again.
For sure. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. We're not done yet. We'll be right back.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights. Your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments. Carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Comprehensive healthcare is here.
At our hiatus, so a few other items from outside of Hoboken now. Let's talk about this lawsuit in Bayonne. So Veronica Burns, she worked for the Bayonne Division of Recreation for 36 years. She had 2 strokes in May 2022, according to a lawsuit filed at Hudson County Superior Court on November 26th. And she is claiming that the New Jersey law against discrimination was violated, as well as the fact that emotional distress was inflicted. So basically, she said that she was asked by her boss, Director Peter Amadeo, who is named as a defendant in the lawsuit, said you had to be cleared with the city doctor after she sustained these 2 strokes, even though her independent doctor, her personal doctor, said that she was okay to return to work. And the lawsuit says, Dr. Levine, it's the city doctor, was not familiar with a recreational leader's job responsibilities, which does not include riding on a school bus. Even so, for some inexplicable reason, Dr. Levine's examination was focused on whether Burns would be able to get on and off a school bus in the event of an emergency. Burns learned later that day from Dr. Levine's nurse that she was not cleared to return to work. No further explanation was given. In broad strokes, she ended up going back. A couple months later, there were no other alternatives given as to how she could return to work other than to be cleared by this Dr. Levine. And in September, she met with Amadeo, a director of municipal service, Susan Kavanaugh, and she's also a defendant in the suit, but had to dispute Levine's findings, which they reiterated her concerns about riding on a school bus, and they said there was no light duty for rec department employees. By the way, it's also important to note, she didn't just work, doing like coaching or anything like that, or maybe setting up like the sports program. She worked for the Ability Day program. That's a social club for special needs persons. So again, I think that's important to note. So anyways, back to this meeting, September 20th, 2023. Amadeo and Kavanaugh allegedly both told her that there's no light duty. You're not getting cleared by the doctor. You're going to have to retire. So basically, the lawsuit says that she was forced to retire because the city just did not want to take the state and federal laws into account. And specifically from the lawsuit, Bayonne, along with the individual defendants, were aware that the plaintiff might require a workplace accommodation as a result of a residual impact from her stroke, but instead of engaging in the interactive process in good faith to arrive at an accommodation for her disability, if necessary, they instructed her to retire. At no time prior or at the time of her termination was there any mention of an undue hardship in regard to plaintiff's return to work. Instead, defendants compelled Burns to retire because of what they wrongfully and unlawfully decided or perceived to be plaintiff's inability to do her job because of her medical condition. So obviously that sounds like a doozy on paper. The city of Bayonne is consistent that they do not comment on litigation, and I must say I can't think of a single time they made an exception. So they are very consistent with that. This is one to follow. Let's see what happens. And then on a lighter note quickly, Hudson County Executive and Representative Rob Menendez, of course, that's our 8th district, announced a $1 million federal grant from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency for a new Clean Hudson initiative. Obviously, there's a lot of industrial pollution around here, and it's always a running joke about how dirty the Hudson River is. This is something to alleviate that, and it's also something that will be done in conjunction with some county agencies, including the Hudson County Incinerator Authority. And, of course, they're also going to worry about some green space, too, not just specifically the river. So, don't want to get too much into that. We're short on time, but that's something to keep in mind, something to check out. We're talking about the governor's race, as we just did with the Assemblywoman for a moment. You saw Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop went after U.S. Representative Mikey Sherrill. Of course, they're two Democrats running for that top state seat. He went after her for missing a vote for veteran benefits, and her campaign responded. And basically, her campaign launch came on the same day that there was a veteran benefit vote over in Washington, D.C., so she didn't cast a vote. The bill did pass overwhelmingly. Nonetheless, Fulop, who is a Marine Corps veteran, and Sherrill, who was a Navy veteran, they scrapped a little bit on this. But emphasis on a little. I mean, Sherrill mostly took the high road. So Fulop said on X, "I'm going to give a pass on Mikey Sherrill's hypocrisy on her launch day, when after pushing her veteran narrative, she chose to skip a key veteran vote in D.C. to instead meet with party bosses in Atlantic City." Of course, that's where the League of Municipalities was. And as I mentioned previously, she was being walked around and entertaining some different parties with people like New Jersey State Democratic Committee Chair Leroy Jones and Hudson County Executive and HCDO Chair Craig Guy. He said, again, as a veteran myself, it was offensive. It showed her priorities. However, this moment for Democrats to stand up for our issues in a Trump administration is bigger than that action. But it is an example. If you live in NJ and look at this threat objectively, of course you would conclude their actions are offensive, and it speaks to character, honesty, integrity, and most importantly, how elected officials respect their constituents. Sherrill said in response, Mikey was ranked as New Jersey's most effective House lawmaker because of her commitment to delivering for the people she serves. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it a week. We'll see you next time.